Hey, welcome to another episode of Electrical Theology, Esoteric Life Coaching. Teach you how to unfold the moment with an undefended heart and to take responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions. All right, guys? So in this video, we're going to look at how to reboot your life, right? How to take actions, how to take conscious, responsible actions in your life. We've been talking about the grid and what path to take in your life. When last time we were giving you the understanding of how to move any pace on the path and at your own progress. There is no right or wrong. There is no finish line. It's just a continuation, an unfolding moment, like I said earlier. So I'm here to sort of teach you the unfolding moment. And the unfolding moment is that there's only one moment. And the more we can bring our undefended heart into the unfolding moment, then we have the power in which to direct our ions. With that heart energy, we're able to then construct, reconstruct, deconstruct, or move or remove any energy we choose to. And once we have taken responsibility for those thoughts, actions, and emotions, then we're able to start helping others help them move their lives, all right, if that's their choice. All right, so we're going to be talking about how to reboot your life by asking micro or macro questions. In this video, we're going to talk about how to reboot your life. We'll look at micro and macro questions or questing ions. Do we want big macro ions coming in or just smaller ones, right? We can have one or two come in, or we can have 100 come in of ions, depending on what it is you're choosing to form in your life. So we can have, from those micro or macro questions, then we can have micro or macro meanings. And the way we're able to get the meaning to our life and purpose in our life is to make movements and create movements. And again, these could be micro or macro depending on how ready you are for macro or micro movement. Micro is more of a step-by-step. Macro is that it's sort of like taking a test in college. It's a placement test. If you know the information good enough, you can just take the placement test and not have to sit there the whole semester. So depending on how ready you are for stuff, and we'll get into the questing ions or questioning the ions of which ones you're ready to have, look at, observe, and take action with, right? And then we're looking at being your own guide instead of seeking others' guidance. Eventually, you don't have to seek anyone's guidance but yourself. It's fun to have other people's guidance, other people's input. I'm not against that. But ultimately, you're your own guide. There's no guidebook in life other than your own, and you're the one who creates that guidebook. So whatever it is you want in your guidebook, that's what you're going to put in it, right? And that's the ones that you start going by. And what's great about it is that we can remove or replace any of these paths that we don't want and replace them with what we do want. And then once we know what we do want, then we can make a choice. And once we understand that choice fully, then we can commit to that choice, right? So we've been looking at this grid should look familiar. So just a review, basically. Physical realm, mental realm, spiritual realm. And each one of these realms has physical, mental, spiritual stages to them. If I seem a little distracted or a little tired, it's because I was moving one of my offices today. Like I said, I'm closing down one of my offices and starting a new adventure. Not sure what that is yet, but I'm always creating new stuff, always ending new stuff, and I'm done with it and then move on to the next thing. So I'm in the process of moving on to the next thing at a higher frequency. I discussed that a little bit a couple of videos back, but so I'm finishing up some of the rest of the stuff. I'm a little tired, but I still wanted to get this video out to you guys. All right. So again, physical stage, mental stage, spiritual stage, or mechanical, chemical, electrical. And each one of these combined together are what I'm calling cosmic constituents. They come together and inform the form and bring life into the form, or the Aleph. And then in order for Aleph, which is the Hebrew name for God, the unformed, in order for the unformed to be seen, it has to create a body or flesh or clay figure, something. In order for us to use electricity, we have to build an apparatus that then that electricity can be utilized. That's a body. And our bodies are the same apparatus, apparati, yeah, apparati, that we then bring the electricity to it and we become the apparatus that then is able to express energy out of us and continue thatness throughout the world and the cosmos. So we build Beth, which is the second letter in the Hebrew alphabet. And when you put those together, you have Aleph Beth, or in the Greek, it's alphabet, because it's alpha and beta, or alphabet, which we get our alphabet from, or the beginning symbolism to create words that create verses that create paragraphs. Right? We start graphing and forming. And this, what I'm showing you, is just a graph, the blueprint. And once we get this graph and understand this graph, then we can start grafting our own input into the cosmic computer. And why do we want to do that? To create what it is we want on and choose in this life, right? If you're committed enough. So these are ones that you've seen before. If not, go back to my past videos and I break this chart down and we go over it step by step. But just remember that there's a start and then there's a finish. And so we action, completion, revelation, occupation, and we're living our passion. But along the way, we have to have inspiration. We have to be receptive and mature. We got to take action. We got to look at our traditional beliefs. We got to make decisions now that we love. The perception or emotions that come out of that, and are we able to maintain that? And if not, we need to reflect on that. If it is, great, let's reflect on it and continue it, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to go over this chart. I've been over it a couple of times. So, but if you need to review it for a little bit, or go watch the video, I don't have the contact to it yet, but you can go back and watch the videos. And definitely like and subscribe. Definitely share this with your friends, guys. My goal is to get to 1,000. No particular time, but whenever it gets there, it gets there. And I appreciate and love each one of you all for watching my videos here. So without further delay, let's continue on, if that's okay with you guys. So what I have here, I've been talking about this cup, that we are a vessel, and before that, that doesn't simmer at the top first. That, the Shambhala hierarchy God, is poured through the vessel, and it goes to the bottom of the vessel, if you will, our flesh bag. And we'll call this our root chakra for now, or our beginning electrical systems, or the mechanical systems, the bone, the blood, the vessels, all this type. That's all mechanical. And then it builds upon the mental and the consciousness of humans. And then if the cup keeps filling up, and then with that and this, all that good stuff, and it fills up, and then we start drinking the elixir of the spiritual or the electrical. I know that word elixir has some triggers for some people. They think it's evil and all that. It's just light, it's energy, it's electricity. I don't look at electricity as good or bad, positive or negative. Anyone can use electricity for what they want. But for me, it's just energy. It's that, this, Shambhala God, just in different formations. All right? A parade takes on different formations, but it's still a parade. All right, so when it fills up, when Aleph comes into Beth, then it is using the constituents, which is dirt. And that's what atomic, atom, atom, dirt, clay, it all means the same word. It all comes from the same thing. And that comes about because of the chemical mixtures. And this chemical mixture is just like a cake. You got to mix the stuff together before you put it in. Even though all the ingredients are there, the form's there, you got to mix the forms. And that's what the chemical realm does. And once you take your thoughts and start reflecting upon them, then you can now you have the ingredients in which to start mixing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Get other people's stuff out, put yours in, and then, or start baking, if you will, your ingredients that then become you. All right, hopefully this is just a visual. I had a couple people ask me, can you give a visual of this cup thing? And I said, sure, I'll just draw a simple thing here real quick. But again, physical realm, spiritual realm, physical, mental, spiritual, or mechanical, chemical, electrical. And these are just the realms of expanding consciousness, just another version of that. All right. So we want to use the grid again, but I'm going to throw in this page, we're going to have a lot of questions, right, which are just based on these quested ions. These are just ions. Notice that each word ends in ion. right? Be it good or bad, positive or negative, or whatever your version or perceptions are of the dichotomy, the dyadic dualistic energy. They're all just swirling. With every yin, there has to be a little yang. With every yang, there has to be a little bit of yin in it. Neither's right or wrong, good or bad. There's just cycles, and once you understand the cycles, you know that it's an active cycle or a passive cycle in your life or lifetimes. So let's get on with when you're ready to make a decision in your life. And here I'm just going to try to throw in some physical, mental, spiritual questions or health, wealth, and love questions. Again, these can be many questions that you have in your life. I can't write them all down because I don't know all your questions or what you're requesting from the universe or yourself, what you're ready to have manifested in your life. If you have questions that you would like me on a later video to sort of lay out or go over with, I'll be more than happy to answer that. Just leave that comment or question in the bottom, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. But for example, here's just some questions, and I'll show you how these ions can be formed and put in an order. And it shows us if you're ready to serve, not only take in that order, but serve that order or pass that ions to other people or live your life. So here's the first one. I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge, love, and want to write a book. What should my book be about? So there's a few questions in there. And then we have, where should I move? This could be the question, should I move? But where should I move? I'm just throwing that on top of it. Should I invest in ABC company or investment or land or crypto or whatever this may be? Is it a good time? We'll be able to answer that question with the secret grid. And is exercise XYZ going to be best for me, or is there another one better? Right? These are all sort of vague, but in one way specific, but still broad. And then the last one is, I want to end a relationship or get into a relationship, or is this person going to work out? So you can see it can vary however you want, but we're going to now use the essence of these guys, because these are just sort of the bullet points of energy that I put onto it. But then each one of these have an explanation or a plane, an X plane of ions. So we're going to break apart this plane and draw it out, if you will, step by step. So let's go with the first question. We won't go over each and every one of these, but listen, the way I answer any one of these, if the way I'm answering them will answer all the questions for all the other ones. Right? It'll pertain to each one. It's relative to each question, the way I'm going to explain it, because it's all the same grid. So no matter what ions we request, because ions are just electricity, it's just what order are we ready to put our life in? Are you ready to have your life in order or disorder? Totally up to you guys. So let's just start with the first question. I have a lot of knowledge, love, and want to write a book. What should the book be about? All right. So we start with the basic physical questions. Then we're going to look at some of the mental questions, and then some of these spiritual questions. Or how do we need to form the electrical? What do we need to mix together to make that work, to get our mind in order? And are we charged up enough to see this all the way through? So what book should we write? What should it be about? Okay, who? So we asked the first question, who or how are you? Right? So what's your book about? If you're going to write a really good book, it's going to be about you. Right? You can study everyone else's stuff, but is that you? Do you love history? Is that you? Are you a history buff? Is your whole life about history? You write a book about history. So basically, who are you? Right? That's what you need to write the book about. Now you can choose to write it about something else, but what do you know best other than yourself? Right? So you can write a fiction or nonfiction and write about you. Right? It can be a historical fiction. It could be a factual book. Right? The genre of what you want to write is how are you best fulfilled, or how are you best expressed in that book. So you wouldn't write a book that you're not interested in. So what do you know the best in this life? Well, who are you? Right? Or how are you? Are you going through stuff in your life? Is life tough? And you want to write a book that you are able to find help and be it physical, mental, or spiritual, and health, wealth, or love, and you're so happy for it that you want to share it with other people. So how are you? Right? What state of mind are you in right now? That's what the book will be about. And yes, this is general because I don't know everyone's question about specificity, so I can only give general spec, but this can be very specific. So if you love working out, then your book's going to be about working out. What particular about working out? Are you a runner? Are you a 7-minute workout? Are you a marathoner? See, there's just so many variations here, but that's why you got to answer that first question: who are you? What are your abilities? What are your gifts? What are your talents? Be them natural or earned? Right? This is what I'm asking when I say, who are you? So really focus in on who are you physically, mentally, spiritually, health, wealth, love, right? Mechanically, chemically, electrically. Are you esoteric in mind? Then write a book on esoteric. All my books are on the esoteric that I wrote. I think I wrote about 5 or 6 now. I got more, but I haven't made the time to edit yet. But they're all on esoteric because that's what I've studied my whole life. That's who I am. I'm esoteric. I'm energy. So that's what I write about. What specifically? It can be any topic under paranormal, metaphysics, noetic science, Bigfoot, UFO, aliens. I can talk about anything because that's what it is. Now, what book do I want to write? Which one am I most motivated? So how am I determined what it is I'm motivated to write about? And that's sort of our second question here, is what or where motivates or amuses you, right? So let's start and break that down because there's a couple different questions there. So what motivates or amuses you? It's sort of the same thing on who are you, but it takes it a step further because this one says, okay, I know a lot of things, but this second question goes, which one motivates you? Which one inspires you? Which one makes you wake up or spend 10 hours in front of a computer or a pad or pencil or whatever writing? What topic of that book can you just sit with? I can write metaphysics all day. I literally have thousands of books that I've written but never published because it's just so vast of information. But really, am I motivated to tell the public about it? Not really. Eventually, maybe not. Another lifetime, I don't know. But it motivated me in the time. It was inspiring in the time, but I don't want to take it any further than that. Does that make sense? Hopefully you're following along with that, and hopefully this is making some sense. But it gets easier as we go along. The more we focus on these questions, and that's what we're doing. We're helping you focus your mind on the ions and quest the ones you want and put them in the order you want so you can have your life in the order in which you want it. Right? So where motivates or amuses you? Right? Where in time? Where in space? Where in life right now? Right? Are you? Again, this applies to the other questions that we have here. Where should I move? Where motivates me? Okay, if I want to move, where do I want to move? Where does the beach motivate me? Does skiing motivate me? Does a different country motivate me? See, we got to ask these questions, right? What are you motivated by? Because if you don't have full motivation, if you're not willing to open up and mature and take action on these steps, then when that energy starts pouring in and you decide not to do it, it's sort of hitting another car at 40, 50 miles an hour. You're going to have that vast impact of energy, right? Which then can cause cataclysmic events within your cellular system in your life, right? So what amuses me, and I put this in here because I got to have fun doing what I do. If I'm not having fun, I don't do it. That's why I just said one of my businesses, because I'm not having fun anymore. It was fun for a long time, and then it wasn't. Right? And that's not on anyone. That's on me. It wasn't motivating. I wasn't ready to go move into that direction anymore. I wasn't ready to keep doing what I was doing. Right? It's not amusing me anymore. Right? I'd much rather be on amusement parks. Right? With my kids. Right? That's fun. So we got to look at that question. So what inspires you? What's going to say, yeah, I'm ready to take it to the next step? And then the next step is what book or what workout or whatever. Then I can say, are you open to receiving more knowledge? Right? Do you have enough knowledge to write the book? Do you have enough knowledge to move? Do you have enough knowledge to do that exercise? If not, this is where you have to be ready to study more. Right? You may not have all the knowledge yet. You may not know, okay, you want to move to the beach. There's 5 million beaches around the world. What particular beach do you want? Do you want Gulf Coast? Do you want to live on the coast or miles away from it because of hurricanes or whatever, or tropical storms? Right? Do you want to be an hour away? Do you want to just be a beach bum? Do you want to surf? What is it you want to do by the ocean? Right? What book do you want to write? Right? And do you need more knowledge of that? Let's say you do love everything in the world, but you don't know particularly what to write about love. But just write about loving. right? So you got to figure this stuff out. Are you open? So are you ready to do more homework if necessary? If you're not willing to put in the work, then you're not really amused, right? It's not going to amuse you. So then you got to go back. Okay, who am I again? Okay, I thought it was living by the beach, but it really wasn't. Maybe I just want to have a condo on the beach and just part-time live. Great. All right. Are you motivated? Yeah, that sounds motivating. Um, and I'm open to receiving more knowledge about a condo on the beach. Sure, I'm going to go study it. I'm going to go hit that, make my calls. Yeah, I can do that. Excellent. Let's move on. All right. So when will you take action? So now that I've done this studying because I'm inspired or I'm amused by it, and I'm getting an idea of who I am, then I'm able to then uh, take some action. Action could be in the same sense as learning stuff. I'm going to pick up the phone and call a condo. I'm going to look at prices. I'm going to study the market. I'm going to look at the macroeconomics. Is everything about to tank? Do I want to wait a few months because I can pick up something on foreclosure or someone desperate to get rid of something? Right? All right, so we got to look at the action and what excuses are you going to make, or which ones are you faced with? Uh, are you ready to look at yourself and your excuses? Because if you're not really motivated or amused by it, excuses will pop in the way. So if a lot of excuses are popping in the way, then you weren't really open to receiving or being amused. And so that's not really who you are again. So if you follow my cursor, follow me as I talk and I'll walk you through with the cursor. All right? So if I'm making a lot of excuses, for what reason? They're just excuses. Okay, maybe because I tried something before in the past and it didn't work out. Great, you've already used that, but we're opening up to new movement now because this new movement is about you, and we're rediscovering who you are. You're you 2.0, 3.0, 5.0, whatever this is. Right, and then once you say, yeah, I'm ready to take action, I think when the market crashes, that's when I'll take action. Now, we may not know exactly month or whatever that it crashes, but when it does crash, then we'll take more research. But right now, we can do more research and look at the prices and the comps and all that good stuff with real estate. Or gold prices or crypto prices. It's a good time to invest in crypto right now. Sure it is. It's 50% off. Why wouldn't you? I want to go into retail store, and if they have my favorite shirts 50% off, I'm snatching them up, right? I'm not staying away from them. I'm going to go buy more. So with crypto, for me, now's a good time. Let's take an action. I'm going to get on my phone and then go buy some, right? Within seconds, I have more crypto, specifically Bitcoin. So as I take action, then I got to look at what are my old beliefs? Which ones are holding me back, right? So what old beliefs are holding you back? And this sort of, again, ties into this. Or if you're making excuses, then it's because of a belief. So who you are and how you are, if you don't know who you are and the only beliefs you have are other people's beliefs that are built in the past, which are egoic, then you're going to be held back. You'll make excuses because you're not open to changing your perception, and therefore you don't really want to be amused. You still want to be in your old self. And that's okay. Nothing wrong or right about that. So if you look at these beliefs, and are you ready to trade them in? Are you ready to look at something different and say, you know what, I was scared before, but because I did this research, I found out a lot of information that now I'm not afraid to move forward. So now I'm going to take action, and I got new information. Again, new formed ions, information. So when you called and you did your comps and you did your research, and you looked at how to write a book, if you want to self-publish or whatever it is, or go through the process of publishing to another person, those are two different things. One's real easy, one's not. I can tell you from my experience. So then we can move on. And what choices are you ready to make that you love? And here we have to love the choice because, again, it's what we're ready to take action on. It's what we're still ready to study, and it motivates me and it amuses me still. So through this process, I'm still amused. I'm still excited. I'm still inspired to see what's coming. Is this making sense, guys? Good. I hope so. If not, comment below. So what choices are you ready to make that you love? So are you ready to move? Did you get enough information? Are you packed? Do you want to take everything with you? Do you want to start fresh? Right? Do you want to take old baggage with you, or do you want to get rid of everything and just hop in the van and go? Do you want to hitchhike America? Do you want to hitchhike Europe, Australia? Do you want to do a walkabout? Right? Spend a year by yourself. Go to the beach. Work a job just so you have a little place, but you're on the beach. Whatever this is for you. So what choices are you ready to make? And do you love those choices? If you don't love it, then you're not serving yourself, nor will you serve others. So it means that you still look at some excuse energy that you're using, and what is it that you can be open to that will give you more insight about why you're still using these excuses. Right? So what choices are you ready to make that you love? It's up to you. So when you're ready, where are you ready to make a move? Right? So again, if you're wanting to move, where? Did you get enough information? Did you do enough studying? Do you know who you are? Do you look at the things that are holding you back from moving? Well, I don't. Gas prices are high. Excuse, right? You can sell, go get plasma. You can do a lot of stuff, and you got plenty enough gas to get across town. You can bum a ride. There's share rides everywhere. You can hop on planes on the tail ends of private jets that have where they're just going back, and the seats are empty. And for a couple dollars, you can fly private, right? But again, that comes because I did research and I found that stuff out. So if you're making excuses, you're not really ready, so you're not really amused by the decisions because you're not really sure who you are yet, and you still have other people's beliefs in you. So where are you ready to make a move? Are you ready to make a move, guys? This is going to be a long video because that's just the physical realm, so I'm going to do another video on the mental and another video on the spiritual or the electrical energy, right? So hopefully this is making sense to you. Going back and forth, ask yourself these questions. Look at the basic ones. Are you ready to start something new? Are you inspired? Are you willing to mature or learn information? Are you ready to take action? Are you ready to trade in old beliefs or ions? Are you ready to make a decision? And are you ready to have a different perception about who you want to be? All right, guys, that will do it for this episode. So definitely, guys, like, subscribe, tickle the algorithms. They love it. I see a lot of people are starting to watch the video, so if you can, throw that thumbs up and like it. The algorithms really love that. So the next video, we're going to keep asking questions along our path. All right? I really appreciate you. Love each one of you for showing up and taking the time and listening to me drone on about this stuff. But it amuses me, and I like it. All right, guys? So until next time, see ya.